show you my Ibanez RGA7. So this is a 2011 model. They had a 2010, I think a 2012, and then it got discontinued on 2013, I believe. This one is used. It does have some battle damage over here, but for the most part it's in excellent shape. I really don't mind the battle damage that it has back over here. This guitar has a mahogany body, maple neck, walnut stripes, and it's a Ibanez Wizard 2, which is my favorite neck shape. It has a Gibraltar 7-string bridge, stock Ibanez pickups. It has a three-way blade, no push ball or anything. It does have a EQ over here. This guitar is a little muddy sounding with the pickups when they are active on the EQ, and if the EQ is off, it's even more bassy sound. So I do plan to change the pickups on this one. I'm just still thinking of what pickups I want to install in here, also because these are somewhat EMG size pickup copies, I will say. I want to try how other pickups can fit in here, especially the Fishmans, because these pickups, they be looking a little thin on the routing, so I don't know how wide that would be. I will have to measure this and look it up just to make sure that I don't get some weird issues with the size of the humbuckers, or I will probably end up going with some bare knuckles or even some Zimmer Duncans, which is pretty much almost what I use on all my guitars. Not that I have a preference, but the Zimmer Duncans, to me, in my ears, they tend to have better voicing than EMGs, especially with chords and all of that, with augmented and all of that stuff. We have a 25.5 scale length, white binding. It is an arch top, hence the RGA of the name of the guitar. And then we do have the stock tuners, not locking, the stock tuners. A little hard to replace because the finish, but if I do end up replacing them, I might go with black tuners instead, and I'll just leave this as it is stock with the knob, and probably replace this, or maybe not, I'm not sure, but I'll probably go with the same finish because I know some companies like Hipshot, they provide the same finish for both. Not really much to say about this guitar. It plays very nice, it feels very nice, very comfortable joint as well. It does have a battery compartment over here. Now that I think about, I might try some Zimmer Duncan blackouts for this guitar, but I'm not really sure yet. Overall, this is one of my favorite 7 strings. Wow, these people are loud. I currently use this one in drop A with the gauge that I ordered by Stringjoy, with an 11 through 74, if I remember correctly. I'm probably thinking to make a demo of this guitar because it does have this stock pickups, and I do want to show in comparison with the replacement whenever I plan to do that, because the EQ active is not that bad really. It makes the guitar sound a little better, and I'm pretty sure if you have this guitar you probably mod the pickups anyway. Not that you have to, but you probably have already, and I don't really blame you. This guitar, it is very dirty. I'll put a picture of how the bridge look. This is how it currently look like. Also, this is what the tuners look like. They were in a very bad state when I bought it. This guitar, I don't know if it didn't get played but it looked like it was just tossed to a side. Clearly it was probably someone else's horse when it comes to like gigging, because it does have some battle scars over here, and the bridge is pretty much in a corrosion state, and also the knob. And let me show you the knob and take a look at that. So I'll insert some pictures that I took when I purchased this guitar a year ago. That way you can see how bad the components were, in a state that were not very good. But other than that, this guitar plays very nice. It is also 25.5 scale length, if I did not mention that. But if you ever see this guitar, I really suggest it. You know, the only thing is again the pickups, but that can be easily replaced. And as usual, I do put strap locks by DiMarzio on all my guitars, almost all of them, because these are very trustworthy. And also the fortune cookies that I always put on all my guitars, especially I do have to put one on my ESP LTD 1007. It does not have the fortune cookie, but I do plan to put them on it. It's just a brand new one, and I'm still planning to see which one I like the most so I can put it over here, because I do have a few. I do keep a bag, and I'm still trying to figure out which one I'm going to use for this guitar. But going back to the Ibanez RGA7, these are not very common. Ibanez, it looks like they have been making these more, at least the RGA model, more and more since 2017. So I'm glad that they have, because the RG is very saturated. In my opinion, I do like RGs, but it is nice to have an RGA. This is my first RGA also. And I really appreciate the carved top. It does gives it a new or a nice touch to it, and it's not your standard flat top RG. Alright, so I gathered this information from the Ibanez Wikipedia or Ibanez Wiki page. I don't know if there's something wrong here or if this is accurate, but for the most part, I think it is, because this is where I go to get most of the information for my Ibanez guitar, especially when they are discontinued, such as the Ibanez RGA7. Now, this model came out in 2011. There's actually also one that came in 2010. And a few of them are a little different. Mine got the binding, and I've seen one that does not have the binding around the edge of the corners or the horns. But anyway, getting back to the specs of the guitar, it is a 7-string. It does have an EQ control or active EQ. It does not sound nice, or it's not the greatest really. It's still a little muddy sounding when it comes to being turned off or even turned on. Even when you put the EQ on, it is a little bit more bearable, if I should say so. But don't use it without the EQ off or on. I mean, if you have this guitar, but most likely means that you probably modify the pickups on this guitar. So anyway, let's go through the specifications very quick, because it is an RGA, again, A7. This model was a 2011. It was discontinued in 2013. It was sold worldwide, but it was made in Indonesia. I think it only came in black. It does have a Wizard 2.7, which is kind of my favorite Wizard neck from Ibanez. The 3 is also very good. It does have a 5-piece maple and walnut neck, a mahogany body with a white binding. The joint, it says that it is a AANJ. Nevertheless, it's a very comfortable joint. Nevertheless, like I said, it's a very comfortable joint. We are going back to the, well, not back, but without mentioning before, because I did went through the neck on the back. So now we're moving to the fretboard. Let me know if you also call it fingerboard. I think it's kind of not dumb, but it's kind of weird. Like, people call it fingerboard. I don't know. It's kind of weird. Like, fretboard sounds a lot more appealing to me. But nevertheless, it is a rosewood, and it is a binding fretboard. We do have the white dots, which are pretty nice. Can't complain there. We got 24 jumbo frets. We also get a 1 volume, no tone with this guitar, but we do get an EQ active system. It does have a 3-way switch. I plan to probably, when I replace the pickups, do probably a split coil. The active setting is I don't know. The EQ, it's okay. It works when you have it on, but if you have it off, it's way too muddy. I would just go on and replace these pickups anyway. I'm just waiting and thinking, making up my mind and see which pickups I want to try. But yeah, overall, this guitar, the pickups are the Ibanez LOZ7B active. The 2010 had those, and the 2013 had the Ibanez Cap LC17 active, which is what I assume that's what mine had. So yeah, pretty much that's it for the pickups. I plan to replace them anyway, because the EQ system is just the stock. I mean, it's okay, but it's just not good overall. And for the most part, I think that's going to be the video. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys later.